I'm joined here today by the one, the only, probably a man that doesn't need an introduction, but I kind of have to. That's how it works. Sugar himself, Rashad Evans, coming off the big win at Eagle FC. What's going on, sir? How are you?
I'm really good. Just just relaxing, enjoying some time off.
I'm seeing you're doing the media rounds. How's that going for you? I know sometimes it can get a little tedious. Are you having fun with it?
I am having fun with it. It's been a long time, so I'm just embracing it, just having fun with it.
If you don't mind me asking, like I've heard in the past people say you're not a real big fan of doing media and stuff like that. What's the decision to come out and do many interviews now?
Just trying to truly enjoy, the victory and just trying to really get out there, just where I'm coming from. I've I didn't really shy away from interviews, but I've learned to enjoy the good times when they're good, and doing interviews is part of enjoying that good time.
For sure. It's been a long time since we saw you win. It was great to see you get your hand raised. What's going on through your mind? Fight's over, scorecards are about to be read. What's going through your mind?
Um, I was just really happy, more or less, just that I went out there and I competed, and I went out there and fought, a good fight, and I've done some things that I haven't done in a long time, and just being able to remind myself that I can do it and I can achieve at this level. It was very humbling for myself. At the same time, it was just kind of very encouraging, because I put a lot into making sure that I can go out there and compete at a high rate.
I know before the fight you had to answer a bunch of questions about, are you sure you're doing the right thing? Are you doing this for money? Do you actually want to fight instead? Did you feel like you answered those questions like, yeah, you guys saw what I'm still capable of?
Yeah, I felt like I answered the questions. I've had a lot of people, ask me a few times, oh man, maybe you should have stopped, just pack it in. And if you ever look at Instagram or any of these social networks, it'll make you cry before it makes you smile, because people can just be ruthless sometimes. But I didn't let it get to me. I didn't let any doubt creep in. And once it was time to go, I was ready to go.
Did you have a moment when you're in the locker room, you're warming up, everybody knows that's where you get the butterflies and everything. Obviously, you've done it so long, I'm sure it's different. But did you have a moment where you're like, I don't know if I should be doing this anymore. I need to go to the bathroom. Did you have that moment?
Yeah, yeah, those moments were definitely there. I'll keep it real. Yeah, I definitely had those moments like, dude, what am I doing? I'm 42 years old. Maybe I should just chill out, But at that point, the hay's already in the barn, so it's just time to go out there and just do the thing. But you know, those thoughts just kind of were there because I was kind of like I haven't done it in so long, and just the anxiety of what it was feeling like. It was a little bit different than I remember.
I know we mentioned you answered questions for other people, should you be out there and stuff, but did you answer any questions for yourself? Like, did you feel like you proved something to yourself out there?
Most importantly, I proved it to myself, and that's where I was really even competing from, is just that place of I wanted to prove something to myself. Going out the way that I did in the UFC was not something that sat well with me. And thinking about making a comeback and thinking about going out there, getting one last fight in, or getting a series of fights in, it was something that played in my mind for a long time. It's been my motivation, ever since I retired. I really never stopped training, just kind of, stay close to a gym and just kind of use the training as a little bit of mental therapy. You know what I'm saying? To kind of help myself get through just the feeling that I was just having. I mean, competing against the talent that I competed against, and being at the level that I was at, it was extremely humbling and very hard when I had to, you know, uh, walk in the valley, to say the least, and just kind of figure out like what it was all about.
So we know your opponent is primarily a grappler. Were you expecting to grapple that much? Because it felt like even when you guys reset on the feet, boom, we're shooting again. Did you expect to be grappling as much as you did?
No, I didn't. I just kind of gave what he gave me, took what he gave me, and he kept giving me those things. So I was just like, all right, I'll take advantage of it. But it was it was great to just go out there and test my grappling against somebody at that high of a level. I mean, they say he's a black belt a couple times over, and he's competed in some pretty good jiu-jitsu matches and things like that. So It was exciting for me to go out there and just.
I know as you're doing your media tour, the big thing is everybody wants to ask you about Jon Jones, right? It's, oh, what do you think about him? I know at one point you compared him to Michael Jordan and Dennis Rodman, which I thought was excellent. I don't want to ask you about Jon, but I want to ask you, when people, ask you questions about him, where do you go mentally? Like, it feels like a different lifetime for you when you're doing the Jon Jones stuff. Where do you go mentally when people ask you about him?
I just try to be, try to be neutral as possible. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel as if like it's easy to jump on him and say things, to kind of to judge him too harshly. But the truth of the matter is the fact that you know I've been in a lot of situations that he's been in, as far as just like some of the bad decision making and things like that. And I've made my fair share of bad decisions and things. And sometimes your bad decisions come back to haunt you worse than other times, and sometimes they sneak up on you and find you in different ways. So I don't look down on him for the things and trials and tribulations that he's been on, and I don't think he's any less of an athlete because he's went through those things. So when I'm asked about Jon Jones, I just try to, you know, um, just say something with enough compassion to understand that he's a person too, and there's a person at the end of those comments. Sometimes you just say stuff and you just say it because you feel that it's true, which is okay. But at the same time, when you're saying it without any kind of empathy that there's somebody on the other side of those words, or the of the conversation, then it hits a little bit different. And I wouldn't want him to be hurt or upset about anything that I said, because that's not my intent.
Well, one thing I want to talk to you about a little bit more selfishly on this one, you're a part of The Ultimate Fighter, one of the greatest seasons of all time. And I'm not even talking about season 2. I'm talking about season 10 when you were coaching. How do you look back on that season of The Ultimate Fighter? Was it as fun for you to do as it was fun to watch? Like, it seems like mentally it was exhausting, but that was so much fun.
It was exhausting at times, but it was a lot of fun too. I had a lot of fun. Just I mean, being there, having that experience, being able to test myself like that. Even when I was coaching with Quentin, it was an amazing experience because I got to kind of relive my situation and being in tough and kind of being the coach that I wish that I had. And I had some great coaches in Rich Franklin and stuff like that. So I really wanted to live up to that. Matt Hughes and Rich Franklin, they were some great coaches. So I really wanted to live up to the coaches that I had. And at the same time, I wanted to add in some things that I wish that I would have had. But I had the Rampage there too, so it wasn't all fun and games. I had to show my teeth a few times, let them know that I'm not a punk. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, there were some days where we're training. I mean, where we're going back and forth, and after we get done, I'm just like, talking to Mike Van Arsdale and Trevor Whitman, like, man, I should really fight this guy right now. I should beat him up. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely tried my patience in a lot of different ways.
I know there were some famous moments like that. If you feel froggy jump and all those things, did you ever have a moment where you're like, I might have to swing on this dude?
Yeah, yeah. The one time in the doorway, we got into it, and we were talking about, it was all that like, just do it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, just throw it, just throw it. That
Yeah.
was the closest that I came to fighting him. I told myself the next day when I seen him, it was going to be fight on sight. Like, we were just going to start swinging on sight, because he was getting to me. You know what I'm saying? He's very quick with it. You know what I'm saying? Very quick with it, and he's funny. And then he had his group of guys, so he didn't have to say much at all. All he had to say
Yeah.
was a little bit. Next thing you know, they're like, "Ha ha ha, Rampage, you're so funny, you're so funny," and that was getting to me, man. So I was like, man, I gotta find some way to. I should just punch this dude right in his face right out the gate.
I think you touched on something. It's the hype man. I think the hype man makes it worse because if you have people laughing, even if it's not, like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's too late. They've already hyped up the situation.
Yeah, the hype man makes it 10 times worse, man. You can get somebody killed listening to a hype man. You don't want to be the guy on the other end of that, getting the hype thrown on you, because then you can't make a rational decision.
All right, so something I want to get to a little bit different. I know you're doing the interviews, some of them interesting, some of them not. I want to get some impressions because I feel like that's something that people need to utilize with you a little bit more since you have this gift. You're actually going to be the second person to do this on the show, so got to throw that out there. Got to give respect to Dominic Wooding. But I wanted to know if you could do a couple characters for us. If I name some
Okay.
for you. I feel like the most important one would be your mom. Is there any way you can do your mom for us? Just love the Rashad. I feel like that's
Yeah.
excellent.
I talked to my mom after the fight, and she said, "Hey, Rashad, look, Rashad, I prayed, Rashad, Rashad, I knew you would do it, Rashad. I was really hoping that you'll be able to finish him in that crucifix, but Rashad, you did good, Rashad, you did good, Rashad. Now you need to sit your ass down somewhere, Rashad."
Excellent. Could you do Anderson Silva? Dominic Whitting did an excellent Anderson Silva. I know you have it in there. Can you do Anderson for us?
Oh, Anderson Silva. Oh, I'm not really too good at doing Anderson. Anderson's a tough one for me to do, man. Hashad. Oh, uh, I do my Muay Thai, and I I don't know, man. Anderson's a tough one for me to do. He's
All right. What about GSP? I believe you've done that before on the show. Could you do GSP for us?
My God, my friend Rashad, I cannot believe that you decided to come back and fight Tabernac de Collis. What's the matter with you? You're 42 years old. What's going on?
All right, I got one last one for you, and this one's my favorite because nobody. I mean, a few people do kind of do it, but yours is excellent. Alistair Overeem. Is there any way we can get Alistair Overeem and the famous 32 and all that good stuff?
Well, I'm happy to see your last fight, and first of all, I want to say congratulations. Second of all, I want to say, how much does Eagle FC pay? I'm not with the UFC anymore, and I was thinking that you can put a word in for little AO to come over.
That's what I love about it. Even the face, like he looks perplexed when he talks. That's perfect. That one's my favorite for sure.
Alistair gonna want to fight me, man.
Where are you at with Alistair? Because I know like things got weird at some point. Are you guys cool? Or if he sees this, like, are you getting that same phone call we just did?
Nah, he's cool, man. Alistair's cool. He knows I'm a jokester, man. Alistair and we go back quite a way, so he understands. Like I respect him. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Alistair, we have a pretty good relationship, being on the same team. At one point, he slapped me in the face. Me and Alistair had like a little fight one of these times at the club one of these days back in the day. But it was like a little fun thing. He just like slapped me, and then we jumped in the pool and started fighting each other. But it was good times.
All right, before I wrap up, I have to ask you about the future and all that stuff. I'm sure you're trying to figure it out too. But what's the future look like for you in MMA? Have you made a decision, or you just seeing what's out there?
I'm just seeing what's out there right now. I'm focusing on some of the other things that I've been working on. I have my mushroom company, functional mushroom company, not psychedelics. So don't think that I'm trying to get people to do any psychedelics. Not yet. This is just functional mushrooms like lion's mane, cordyceps, reishi, turkey tail, shiitake mushrooms, those kind of things. It's called Umbo, and we have capsules, we have bars, we have gummies. So we have a couple of different ways that you can take them, but it's just for your consciousness. And I mean, mushrooms in general, even if they're not psilocybin mushrooms, they're very good for your body. It's like a whole food group that we're missing out of the mycelium kingdom that we don't use, that has tremendous benefit for our body, neurologically speaking, and consciously speaking. It really helps out a lot. So I'm launching that company. It should be out within the next couple weeks. And also I'm also working on my Metatodes project, Metatodes gang. So minting 10,000 of them. So it should be minted. I'm gonna mint them next month. So I got a couple of different projects that I'm really trying to launch off the ground. So I'm gonna focus on that for a while, and then see how everything's set. I'm still in the gym training, still working with the guys, and you train with enough guys, you take enough punches, and you start pushing yourself to the limit before before too long, it breeds that mindset where you want to get back in there and fight. So I'm just gonna see where it goes for me.
You mentioned the toad stuff. I believe it. I'm gonna put you on the spot big time. Just warning you. But yeah, I believe you're giving away free shirts. What's the deal with that? How can I get a free shirt? Like, I mean, we're here, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna get you a free shirt, man. I'm gonna get you hooked up, Lucas. All right, I'm gonna send you a shirt, man. Yeah, I've got some shirts made. Because it's an NFT collection, but I made a few shirts and things like that from some of the digital prints that we've already put out. So, yeah, I mean, the toad is coming in full blast.
In terms of your next fight, if there is one, what are you looking at this point? Like, is it about, fun? Like, a lot of people want to see you fight Shogun. Some people have talked about Lyoto since he's about to be a free agent. Are you looking at sort of those fun legacy fights, or at this point, is it just about, whatever looks interesting?
You know what? Those fun legacy fights would be fun. I mean, it'd be something that would get me excited. Competing at this stage of my life, it's very not difficult, but very different than what it was when I was competing for the belt. When you're competing for that goal, because I understand the fact that I'm 42 years old, and I understand the fact that most likely my best days are behind me. You know what I'm saying? So I know that this is a young man's sport as well too. So I'm very careful, who I select and things like that. So those kind of fights, they make sense because I'll be going against somebody who has the same wear and tear as I do on the body, if not more, and that makes me just feel better going into the fight. So yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, one last question for you. I'm not going to ask when we're going to see you again because, like you said, you're not sure yet if you are. But what do you hope your legacy is when you finally do hang up the gloves one last time? How do you hope people look back on your career?
Um, I hope with fondness. This is always a hard question to ask, but I hope that I'm remembered for the person that I am or was versus any fight that I ever done because um, the memories of fade and what happened and what fight, but people never forget the way that somebody makes them feel, and I just hope that when it's all said and done, the people that knew me, the people that I impacted with who I am, really really got the best of me and really understood what I was about and understood where my heart is at. So that's what I really hope.
Well, I feel like that's a great way to end the interview. Thank you so much, Rashad. I really appreciate it. You're a legend in this game, man, and I'm happy to see you come back and doing big things.
Thank you, Lucas. I appreciate it. Have a good one.